to the Saturday lights, breaking down the tide. Every wrong, every right, got the insight, fire and the Bama pride. When the crimson's on the line, we alone for the ride. Bama voices on the call, we gon' break it all down. From the rumble in the trenches to the kings of the crown. Yeah, the tide runs deep and the show runs strong. Jack, Jeff, Trev, keep it rolling all season long. Every snap, every play, every headline drop. That's Bama on the field, you know we never stop. Fast take, big stakes, Tide talk all day. Alabama by CFB, we don't play. Christian spirit in the air, let the good times flow. Times flow. Roll it up, only one place to be when you love.
What is up, everyone, and welcome to this special edition on Alabama at the Voice of College Football from yours truly, Jackson Johnson of Alabama Crimson Tide Live and Kelsey Huffine of Alabama Primetime Live and Off the Bench CFB every Saturday mornings on Jots Huntsville. And let me tell you something, folks, you're in for a good time for a long time as we are going over our take on Keelon Russell being named as the starting quarterback for the Alabama Crimson Tide. We should be joined by Carson Becker, Trevion Ware, and Jeffrey Only Taught Sports give their taste, but if not, we'll definitely get to hear their taste Monday and Tuesday. That's for sure. Well, Kelsey, how you doing today, good buddy?
I'm doing well. As you can see, breaking news has their feels with when you already have plans that you've committed to, but then this breaks, so you have to make do with what you have. So I'm doing this one along the road as we finally hear who the starting quarterback at Alabama is.
Oh, no doubt. And we first found this out from Matt Zenitz of CBS Sports. And it's an excellent reminder, of course, that Russell was the highest recruit in school history, the second best overall recruit in the 2025 recruiting class. And it's funny, though, because I was looking at what Way Offsides was saying on X over the weekend, where not over the weekend, but earlier the week, where he was saying, if Russell isn't the quarterback for 2026, he's surely the quarterback for 2027. And when we saw, DeBoer say, we could go with either quarterback, it was just I think they're going with Russell, because it was we saw the reports all over the place. Zenitz at CBS was saying that we're going with Russell. Chris Lowe at On 3 was ahead of the game, obviously. I mean, a lot of people were just letting us know we're going to see this happen.
And I mean, you really learn and you figure out who actually has the inside information on this. I mean, we could go back 3 days and you will see that, people have been speculating and they're like, okay, Russell's the guy. We got inside information. He's going to start. And it really came down to, whoever's throwing that deep ball better. That deep ball really, it's just the physical throws that Keelon Russell makes that Austin Mack just physically cannot make. So for Keelon, I think that this is just for sure, no matter what, you had a good chance of you're having a good time with whoever is going to be the starting quarterback. You knew that it's good either way. And knowing that Keelon, you have that next step up, knowing that he could raise the ceiling of the Alabama Crimson Tide, the people who have those inside scoops, this was an exciting chance to get the voice, to let your voice be heard, because this is a big-time announcement for Alabama. And it really changes how we're thinking about the season. I mean, you could sit there and say Austin Mack was settling with if you would have picked him as a starting quarterback, Alabama could be settling. And now Keelon Russell named as a starter, it shows you that DeBoer is aimed and he knows the job is to get that next national championship for Alabama.
Well, and it honestly tells me as well, because they see some comparisons to what they had from Michael Penix from the days of Washington in 2022 and 2023. So they're kind of getting somewhat of those Penix vibes from Keelon Russell. And honestly, that's a good thing right there. And, the fact that we heard about the offensive line, being praised so much to the point where you got Joe Moore award voter Aaron Taylor of CBS Sports praising the offensive line, that tells me right then and there, okay, 2026 should be a way better season than 2025. Now, all we got to do is just figure out who our starting kicker is going to be for 2026. I mean, that's all we got to do. I mean, like, I think they're leaning Lawson Quinn. They're just kind of waiting for that perfect time, like they did with Russell. So it's just going to be interesting to see. Oh, you mean
right? And right in the quarterback situation, I guess it took more of the precedent and it put more pressure on the staff to figure out who the starting quarterback is going to be. But it's not really the same way with kicker. But I think with Larson Quinn, they went out there, got an upgrade for a position battle, and so kicker. You know that in Alabama, it is important upon all things to have the right kicker on the roster. We don't want a repeat of the kick six. You know, there's no reason we don't want one of those things, you know. So it's important for Alabama to get that kicker position correct because, you know, if they don't, there's a lot of bad things that could happen. You're looking at a lot of these games. Alabama still has the death row schedule. You know, if it comes down to a field goal, you have to know that you have trust in that guy kicking that football through those uprights. If you're having issues, you know, we've seen it throughout the year when Alabama has issues at kicker, you start to feel things. And you just know if that SEC championship comes down to a kicker, if that first round of the college football playoff comes down to a kicker, there are some deep issues with Alabama, and the fan base is going to feel it quickly. And even, you know, Alabama fan base, they let Saban know it when Saban wasn't giving out a scholarship to a kicker. They wanted them to give out a scholarship to a kicker. It's just they wanted that to happen because there was so much inconsistency at that position.
Yeah, there's a whole lot of inconsistency at the kicker position. Like, I mean, you know, that's the thing, though. You have to pay attention to the special teams. Like, it's good to pay attention to your QB position and the running back position and pay attention to everybody in your defense. But you got to pay attention to the kicker. Pay attention to the punter as well. Like, because, like, every position counts. Getting every position taken care of counts.
It does, you know, and of course, you know, there's more position battles on this team. You know, running back is the next one that, you know, we got to figure out who's the guy at running back, or if we're going a 1-2 punch. We know Daniel Hill is probably going to be the number one guy. The question right now with the AK Deer injury is who's the number two? You know, E.J. Crowell showed up to a boot in practice the other day. You still had Trayshawn Brown back there, Kevin Riley. There's pieces on that running back crew, and I think no matter what, the running back crew is going to be good. I think we've morally figured out that the offensive line is going to fit well with Keelon Russell and his style of play. It's a smaller offensive line that DeBoer runs compared to the previous offensive lines that were majority built by Saban. You had Proctor there. You brought in Brailsford. Brailsford and Proctor really didn't match that well. But I think you know now, you know, that offensive line is built for that quarterback route. It's built for the quarterback, Keelon Russell. But you're also going to find out very quickly that running the ball is going to probably be easier under Adrian Clem and Kalen DeBoer's offensive line than we've seen the last couple of years compared to when Kalen DeBoer just didn't have his offensive line in the correct system. So, you know, running back, I think that's the next position we got to figure out quickly. And I think we'll learn over the next 2 weeks of really what that room is looking like and how that depth is going to be fluctuated as we get through the next couple of weeks here before week one. But it seems like as of right now, East Carolina, that game, you're going to be getting a lot of answers for the question marks we're still asking right now after this quarterback battle has been figured out.
Yeah, and honestly, I wonder how much of Austin Mack we're going to see. That's what I keep thinking about. Like, because it feels like we're going to be seeing him in the fourth quarter against East Carolina. Any other games, I want to see if we're going to see him in the second half. Like, I mean, unless there's injury, I don't think we're going to see much of Mac. But you know, you and I talked about this on like the last few minutes of Off the Bench on today, and you asked the question, you know, is Keelon Russell the guy? Is he the guy? Even if he's having a 3 interception game, or if he's having a 5 of 18 completed passes type game, are they still sticking with Russell and then they're going to put in Mac? I remember that was one of the things I kept really thinking about before we got started was how much of Russell do we see, you know, if that's happening. I mean, I don't think that should happen. Like, we're good to go, but I think honestly we're gonna wait and see what happens. Like we'll get to it when we get to it if that's happening.
Look, I mean, Austin Mack, I think there's no denying that he's going to find himself as a starting quarterback next year for some team. It's going to happen, whether it's Tennessee, if Dejan Brandon and McIntyre don't work out there in Knoxville, you could see Austin Mack go north. It would be heartbreaking as an Alabama fan, but it could happen, right? Who knows with Penn State? Ruckle Beck's gone. We don't. Next year we could see them fluctuate at quarterback. I mentioned Ole Miss, but they have Deuce Knight behind Austin Simmons. Maybe Texas with Arch Manning being gone after the season. I think it depends a lot on what happens to Sarkisian as well. Austin Mack is good enough to be a starter at anywhere in the country and possibly at a lot of places around the country, not really anywhere. You talk about 100 different FBS teams that would happily take him at quarterback right now. Texas Tech. You could have Tommy Castellanos already be coming over there. Now that he's filed that injunction, he could be going there. It could have been Austin Mack, right? So there's situations all over the country where you have to look and say, look, Austin Mack could be the starter over there. But there's one thing for sure. Austin Mack's going to be the best backup quarterback in FBS Division I. So your quarterback situation's fine. Even if you have issues with Austin Mack and you don't think he can win right now and your best situation is to move Austin Mack in there, it'll happen. But you want to stick with this team and give Keelon some trust at first. You might see a 3-interception game against Kentucky. It might happen. The question that you look at right there is, do we want to focus on winning this game or do we want to build trust? We can afford a loss as Alabama. It sucks to say it. You can in the new age of college football. You can afford that loss. If there's a 3-interception game for Keelon Russell and you have to give him some trust rather than going for Austin Mack, that could be a thing Alabama fans might have to swallow their pride about.
For sure. I think, honestly, you want to make sure you let Keelon Russell know, hey, I trust you. You're the guy. You got this. Like, you got to let him know, like, hey, you're our guy. Just kind of reassure him. I don't think we should have to worry about there being consecutive 3 interception games. Like, I don't think that's going to happen. Like, I mean, that dude can throw a long ball. Like, he's going to be good to go. And he's got a great receiving core. So he's going to be protected by a lot of guys. And the offensive line is a lot better this year than it is last year. And you got a better offensive line coach than you had from last year.
Right. I mean, Adrian Clem, everybody's talking about how he is the star of fall camp. He is the MVP so far because how he's built this offensive line core. And, if Adrian Clem is the absolute centerpiece to everything, the world is revolving around him, whether it's the quarterback, whether it's the running back, whether it's the wide receivers, right? The offensive line is built to be around everything, and Adrian Clem has been the ultimate MVP of fall camp so far, and hopefully that can continue into the first part of the first 5-game stretch for Alabama.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be interesting to see what happens with the first 5 games. Because, we've got a pretty good stretch to figure out what works for everybody and what doesn't work for everybody. But don't ever think that because a stretch looks easy means that it is. You got to treat every game like it's no tomorrow, like it's a game that could ruin your season. You got to treat it like that because, Florida State, made sure to let us know that last year, of course, because the revenge game is going to be fun in week 3, but going to Kentucky, even though they've not beaten Alabama since October 4th of 1997 on ESPN, you don't want to underestimate those Kentucky Wildcats. You don't.
We were talking about that on Off the Bench earlier this morning. And, there's a possibility people want to sit there and say that Youngstown State can go into Kroger Field and beat Kentucky. I don't buy into it. I'm more on the side that I think Kentucky's going to be good this season. They got nothing to lose. They're building upon Stoops here. Will Stein's going to have that under control. But, in the end, I think Kentucky is still that game where it's a deciding factor in a lot of ways.
Oh, yeah. Because, I think we'll do all right in the 4-game stretch in October and November. It's just that, and I know Jeffrey has talked about this quite a lot because it's it's good to beat Georgia, but do you want it to be? I'd rather it be losing to Georgia and some random ranked team and beat the teams we should beat than be lose to a team that we shouldn't lose to and then beating Georgia again, because it's like that's going to be insane. Like, not that you want to see Alabama lose it, like, don't get me wrong, but it's just you don't want to be losing that one game you should, because like that's something I've criticized Miami for a lot, right? I've been a known critic for the Miami Hurricanes doing that, on air here on Alabama The Voice of College Football and on other platforms where I've said that Miami is that team that wins the big games that they shouldn't with everybody watching them, and how they always lose that game that they shouldn't lose when no one is watching them. I don't think Alabama should be, but it's like crossing my fingers that we're not like that. We're good. I'm glad that things are all worked out with the QB situation and that the offensive line is way better than it is from last year. Kicking situation got to get figured out. We just got to make sure that we let Keelon Russell know, hey, you got this. We trust you. We know you're going to get us to the promised land.
Those first 5 games are on Alabama's slate. Alabama has to go 5-0. Like, another thing that I discussed this morning, SEC is going to get suffocated this year because there's how many teams looking for 10 wins? You got LSU, you got Texas, you got Alabama, you got Georgia. With that 10-game season, and you have to be in a situation to where not every team is going to get that 10th win. There's going to be teams that are 8-4. So, Alabama through that first 5-game stretch, you have to go 5-0 because if you don't, you're going to have severe issues later on in the season. I don't think there's any secret to that. You could be, if you go 8-4, DeBoer's on the chopping block. So this is a secure situation where Keelon Russell is now tied to Kalen DeBoer and Grubb's job. This decision relies a lot on that job.
Yeah, because I believe Grubb is contracted through 2027. That's about it. He's not had a contract extension announcement of any kind. And like you said, that all depends on how the 2026 season, works out. And of course, we've got the first 5 games of the 2026 season: East Carolina, Kentucky, Florida State, South Carolina, and Mississippi State. Oh, that South Carolina game, that's always been giving us trouble. I don't want to see another tight game against South Carolina again. If I see that again, it's going to be too soon. Man. And just kind of looking at Kentucky. There we go. Michigander coming in the chat. Smash that like button. There we go. And we got Army EP Sits FZ. Say roll tide roll. Correct decision. Congratulations, Keelan. Mac, keep your head up. Carry yourself like Jalen Hurts. Then your stock goes up. I could definitely see Austin Mack doing that. I mean, he's going to go up. No worries. He's going to be rolling. Let me get a roll tide roll. Keelan is so young. He will make mistakes. As fans will have to step by. No worries there. So he could develop into what his full potential is. Kelsey is dealing with some technical difficulties. He should be back. No worries there. And we got a roll tide roll from our guy. Kyle Banks says, let's go. Let's do this. And Michigander says, hey, what's up, Jats? Good to see you, Michigan. Good to see you, chat. And, we got to make sure we're 5-0, of course. That is 100% agreed. You don't need to be unbeaten, of course. 11-1, you're in the playoffs, no doubt. 10-2, you're definitely in the playoffs. You go to the SEC title game, you're in the playoffs. But of course, Alabama, I believe, should be good to go. We just got to get that kicker situation figured out. We're square. We're going to be squared away. And chat, y'all let me know what you think. How many passing yards do you see Keelon Russell throwing for 2026? I'm thinking we could see something on the range of, I could see like a 2,600 passing yards season for him. I could see something like that for Keelon Russell. I think that's going to be fun to see. I mean, that guy's going to be rolling. I mean, he's going to have a lot of targets. He's going to have Coleman Williams. He's going to have Brooks. He's going to have Morgan. He's going to have Rogers. He's going to have Meadows. He's going to have all those guys at his backfield. He's going to be rolling. I've got faith in Keelon Russell. I think he can really get it done for 2026. I mean, when you got Ryan Grubb as your offense coordinator, Kalen DeBoer as your head coach, you're going to be rock and roll. I mean, Michael Penix will definitely tell you. He's going to be very happy. Oh, yeah. It's going to be great. And, 2026 is going to be a good year. It's going to be a great year. But, of course, we just want to let you know that this special edition of Alabama Crimson Tide Live, or on Alabama at VOCFB, is presented by FanDuel, where you can get top-notch predictions in the world of college football. It feels good to say college football. NFL, NBA, Major League Baseball, WNBA, National Hockey League, UFC, and I don't know if there's WWE for some of you fans that are WWE viewers, but I will definitely find something. But we've got a wild lineup. Man, we got a bunch of FCS games, man. Like, good grief. We got a lot of them. Like, it's just rolling. So, and, you heard Kelsey talking about Youngstown State, but against Mercyhurst, man, that's interesting right there. You heard us talking about Maine and Towson Thursday night, but, oh, man. Oh, Lord, the phone battery got to. Yeah, that Bama heat will do that to you, man. Oh, man, that it doesn't mess around, but we will. There's our guys, Mary Mac. For some of you guys that tuned into the After Dark show on the Voice College Football Network on the main channel from the old days, you know that you've heard a lot about Mary Mac. So I think I'm going to go with Merrimack to beat the spread against Rhode Island. Because you know what? I'm a rambling, gambling man. I'm going to go with Merrimack to beat the spread against Rhode Island. Not saying they're beating them. I'm just saying they beat the spread. It's going to be like a 17-point win by Rhode Island. That'll be like that random bad beat you hear of. Like, especially when you see like one of their guys just going, "Oh, I'm gonna score a touchdown." Nope. No. I'm not doing that. I'm not that classless. That's what you're gonna see. You're gonna see him pull a Nick Chubb, I think. So that's what I believe. We got Kelsey back. That phone battery's doing the mess around like that. The heat, that Bama heat is just messing around with us. Like, I think Mother Nature's got like too much of a sense of humor. Oh, okay, here you, my dude.
It is no joke right now. Not only did the phone battery get too hot and decided to shut everything off, the right AirPod has died now, so we're down to one AirPod.
Oh man, so we're definitely gonna make it count on this one. So, of all these random games that you see for week 0, Kels, which game do you feel really confident in to put on a parlay or to place a bet on?
Place a bet on? I don't, man. Jacksonville State going up to the Fargo Dome up in North Dakota State. It's their first game in FBS. It is going to be a shock for North Dakota State. I question them coming up to the FBS level because they're really good at the FCS level. Obviously, probably the best FCS team of all time is North Dakota State. I think that they are going to come up and have a couple of mediocre seasons, and it's going to be a rude awakening for them. So for me, I'd be confident in Jacksonville State going up to the Fargo Dome.
Oh, well, I'm going to say not so fast, my friend. Lee Corso would say. Although, I will say I do not pick North Dakota State to win on the point spread. I'll take the money line on North Dakota State. And I'm going to be honest. I feel like we could see like a Boise State type rise from North Dakota State in the Mount West. I'm getting those 2000s Boise State vibes from North Dakota State as they're heading into the FBS. I don't know why, but that's what I'm feeling like they're gonna give us, like that James Madison Boise State vibe, and it all starts in week 0. I'm not saying that they're gonna be they're not gonna automatically be in the playoffs, but it is gonna be interesting to see what happens. But Kelsey is going with Jacksonville State, and I'm going to be going with North Dakota State on that one reluctantly. The keyword is reluctantly, because I love me some Jacksonville State because I'm a Bama man, of course, but I don't like picking against my Bama guys. But I know that sometimes business is business sometimes. Like, you got to do what you got to do, you know? And, of course, we also want to give you a reminder to check out the VOCFB merch store. Check out the website as well, because we've got more magic coming your way. All right here on thevoicecollegefootball.com, where there's more magic all over the place. We got our takes on what Mario Cristobal had to say. We got more takes on what Matt Campbell had to say. We've got Brent Venables agreeing to a new contract. Yep, there's DeBoer. And no worries, but we'll be updating that right away after the show. But here's what you're really coming for, ladies and gentlemen. Here's what you're really coming for. The Alabama merch. That you want to see some changes in latitude, changes in attitude. We've got that merch store from Alabama the Voice College Football for the VOCFB merch. That guy looks pretty happy, but especially the final days of summer with that polo shirt. Note to self, I need to get myself one of those. And the sweatshirt. It's never too early to prepare for winter and fall with a sweatshirt all right there from Alabama with the Voice of College Football. And, it's back to school week. You get those hats ready, get those t-shirts ready, get the coffee cups ready. Because I know some of you guys that are parents or some of y'all know somebody with kids. Get them some juicy juice with the Voice College Football mug from Alabama with the Voice College Football, or a tumbler cup, or better yet, a can cooler to show off to all your friends. All right here. Oh, man. And we are back. We got Kelsey back. The heat is messing around, man. I hate that heat.
No joke with the heat out here.
We got the belt waiting for the heat, man. So that's why it's like we're playing for a genjutsu from it, man. Oh, man. I was going to ask, was there anything else we missed from this special edition from today? I'm used to saying tonight, but it's not tonight, of course. But I wonder if we missed anything.
Far as I know, the breaking news from this morning was Keelon had been named the starting quarterback. Of course, there's many other things that can go along with that. But, I'm excited. I was off last week with the Voice College Football. I got my little recharge down there in the beautiful panhandle of Florida. But Crimson and Orange is back, and it's a good day to be a Crimson Tide fan.
Oh, man, it's an excellent day. You said it, my dude. You said it, man. And I guess we're going to sign off here for the rest of the day. We'll definitely see you on Monday from Crimson Tide Live with Jeffrey, Trevion, and myself. And Kelsey will be seeing you Tuesday at Alabama Primetime Live with Carson Becker, Trevion, and himself, of course. Thursday, of course, is Jeffrey and I taking your calls on the Crimson Tide. And when it gets to the 100th edition of the Alabama College Show, we're moving that down to Friday, September 4th, because out of respect for the 24-hour live show for Mark Rogers at the main channel, of course, because he's got that planned out. But I will double check just in case. But also the post-game show, we're combining forces, man. Like the live show host and the primetime live show host, we're gonna be keeping you informed. Like you might see one of us go Charlie Morningstar Unleashed if things aren't going our way, man.
Well, I guess we'll be dealing with more heat because as of right now, the first 2 weeks of the season, I'm on the road. I'll be in Tuscaloosa and I'll be in Lexington. So I will
Ooh.
likely be taking the post-game interviews on the phone, either right outside of the stadium,
Ooh.
maybe I'll be in the quad, maybe
Ooh.
up there in Lexington somewhere, but I'll for sure be on. We might be back in this situation. So hopefully the Alabama
You
Heat.
could see me in Kentucky possibly, because a buddy of mine, Austin, who lives in Kentucky, he and I are seeing whether if it's happening or not. Like, because he got some
So,
tickets and all, so it's like it'd be
so
like if it
we're
is happening, it'd be the first time he and I are meeting in person. Who knows? You and I might run to each other, Kentucky.
we live in the same. We live one city apart, Jackson.
Oh
Um,
shoot.
I'm in Huntsville right now. I'm actually at Providence, Maine. If anybody knows where that's at around here, I know Jackson's about half an hour down the road, and we have never met. So if we would have to go to Lexington to do that, man, you thought it would happen in Tuscaloosa first, but man, I'm feeling the love over here, man. But all things considered, right? I'm still looking for Kentucky tickets. Those things are looking pretty pricey right now. We've got the lodging figured
Stop
out in
pricing out
Lexington.
the fans.
They're
Stop pricing
pricing
out
out
the
the fans.
fans.
The only issue, and I'm going to need some advice on this, and you can hit me up on X at Kelsey_Huffine. We're having an issue with the tailgating situation. Apparently, you have to buy a parking pass, and this is what I've heard. You have to buy a parking pass and all this because of how the tailgating's set up. It's in the parking lot. It's like an NFL stadium out in Kroger Field. So from what I heard is it's already hard to get a parking pass. They're also more expensive than the actual game ticket. So, man, they're not only pricing out the fans, but unless you like a season ticket holder, you ain't getting a parking pass. You definitely ain't tailgate.
Man, like it's like I hate that. I hate getting priced out, man. That sucks. I hate seeing the people getting priced out. It's like that sucks. And it's just like Popeye, where it's just like, I could take all I could stands, and I could stands no more.
That's it right there, man. But hey, Lexington and East Carolina, off the bench college football show will be there. Maybe we'll get along and do some stuff with the Alabama voice of college football as well. But it's excited. One more week. We got week 0. I think week 0 officially starts tomorrow?
Oh man, next Saturday we'll be rolling. I'll for week 0, North Carolina, TCU, and then North Carolina State, Virginia. And, there's going to be some people just hyping the heck out of it because it's like, hey, there's no other games. No other games.
Hey, there's no issue with that. You got a little game day
Nope.
action going on in Dublin. So it's going to be a fun time week 0. I can't wait for next week. Officially starting college football. Hey, and also a message from my show. Guys, no fall weddings. We've talked about this the last couple of years. I thought we ruled out fall weddings. And I've 2 scheduled. I thought we ruled them out.
Oh man, it's like me personally. It's like you won't have to tell me twice. Like I go as far as be like, yeah, no wedding invites till mid-February.
You said mid-February. I said at the end of January. You were not. We got longer. We still got NFL going on.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. I mean, it's gonna be interesting to see what because I mean, they're gonna be having Super Bowls on February 15th now. So it's like there you go. It's like I'm just staying prepared.
Right.
So, but yeah, well, tell people what you got going on over at Off the Bench and Alabama Primetime Live, good buddy.
Guys, of course, Alabama Primetime Live comes first Tuesday afternoon, 6 p.m. Central Time. Of course, we're going to be talking about Keelon Russell, right name, the starting quarterback. We're going to be learning more over the next week. I still haven't got a chance to talk about the Crimson versus Orange coming back this year. It's in Nayland. Next year to be in Tuscaloosa.
So awesome.
It's going to be fun, man. It is going to be real fun. Of course, Off the Bench college football show. We're into the dog days of college football. It's starting up week 0, of course. We're going to have our kickoff show, previewing the games next Saturday, of course. Midweek updates are about to return Thursday nights. I think 6 p.m. Central Time. That's not yet been 100% decided, but it is coming back. And, of course, previewing the games, and then followed by that right before 11 o'clock, 10:50 Central Time. Pick'ems is back on the Off the Bench college football show. So we're still figuring out how we're gonna do that and how we're gonna incorporate all that. But I do know that it is back and it is in full throttle with week 0 coming up next week.
I'm excited about Alabama and Tennessee wearing home jerseys because I mean, like last time that happened was 1970, and you're just giving me 1966 vibes. I'm excited about it, man. Like I'm like a kid at a candy store seeing that, and now we just gotta get Bama and Auburn to do that, and it's like. I'm not sure if you're in this camp or not, but I'm loving the idea of Bama wearing the white helmets once a year because it's like we wore the white helmets before we got to the crimson helmets, starting in the 1960 Blue Bonnet Bowl against Texas, where we tied in that game. But I mean, it's like I'm all for a white helmet game for Bama, like once, twice a season, like no problem there. Like one for home and one for the road. It's like there we go. It's like, especially for when we play Georgia Tech next time, it's like I want to see like a little retro day for the Crimson Tide one day. Like that'd be pretty cool.
Hey, I'm in the white helmet camp. I'm all for it. I got no issue with it. It's whatever it's going to help, right? I'd even go far to say let's do some retro jerseys. Maybe
Yeah,
against Tennessee. I could work with that
yeah.
too. Something like that. Alabama's always been traditional, but let's go back even more traditional. Bring some retros in there.
There we go. Let's freaking go. Oh man. And of course, you can check me out on Jats Johnson 979, where I will probably have some Jats Solid episodes on there. I swear I'll have something on there, but I know I'm probably filming some content with Austin, of course. I'm like Gravity Falls, where it's like you'll see me when you see me on that show, of course. But you can find me on Alabama with the Voice of College Football Mondays at 6 p.m. Central, 7 p.m. Eastern Time. Thursdays at 9 p.m. Central, 10 p.m. Eastern Time for the College Show with Jeffrey Dolly Talk Sports. And you can also find me on the Postgame Show with Kelsey, Carson, Trevion, and Jeffrey, of course. You can also find me on SEC at the Voice of College Football. Tucker Harlan Wednesday nights, and Andrew Miller, the man with that beard, the man that really brings that beard magic from Mississippi State, the Voice of College Football. I can tell you, man, he's a genius, man. I'm telling you, I cannot wait for you guys to meet Kels. I'm telling you, that's gonna be awesome.
I'm pretty new to the beard game myself. It's still growing in a little bit. I got a little bit of youngster in me, so I don't know if I'm going to compare much.
Oh man, it's gonna be awesome. But you can also find me on as a guest on Locked On West Virginia with Mountaineer Paul from time to time. And you can also find me on College Sports Insiders with Mountaineer Paul, where he and I had on Miles from Colorado VOCFB joining us to discuss whether Deion Sanders is a hot seat coach or whether that go-go offense is really going to get things going for the Colorado Buffaloes as they circle the wagons in the 2026 season. And for more updates, what I've got going on in my world, check me out, Jackson VOCFB at /Twitter and on Instagram threads at Jackson Johnson 543908. So tell your friends, your family, and the cashiers at Publix about the magic that each of us bring to Alabama with the Voice of College Football. You can check out Kelsey right here Tuesday nights at 6 p.m. Central on Alabama Primetime Live with Travion Ware and Carson Becker. You can find me Monday nights at 6 p.m. Central, 7 p.m. Eastern Time with Travion Ware and Jeffrey Dolly Talk Sports. You can check us out right here on Alabama with the Voice of College Football. Like, comment, subscribe, click on the notification bell so you never miss a video whatsoever. We'll be seeing y'all soon. And roll tide.
Roll tide, Jack.
See y'all soon.